Over 2 decades of sports radio dominance in Utah.
My favorite.
This is DJ and PK, presented by Black Desert Resort, Utah's premier golf resort, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Time to welcome in Bob Casper to put a bow on the Open Championship. Bob, good morning.
Good morning.
Scottie Scheffler in a rout.
Yep.
Did you know it was over midway through the second round on Friday when he was putting that 64 together? You're thinking, oh, boy, here we go.
Well, he was letting him back in with that double bogey on the eighth. But what he did right from the get-go.
Did he? Or was he just messing with people?
Well, he was just kind of teasing him a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
But what he did that was amazing was, he got to 3 under par in the first 5 holes, and it was like, okay, guys, try to come after me. And this is mine to win, basically. Try to come after me, and then, he knocked a couple off of it, but then turned around and came right back with a birdie at 9, and then another birdie at 12, and then it was a matter of hitting the shots to get to the middle of the greens and just making a bunch of pars to come in, let the holes run out. So it was I totally enjoyed the way he played his final round. A lot of people are saying, wow, it was really boring. I thought it was masterful, and I thought it was excellent.
Well, both things can be true, right? It was people want competition, and so it was boring because he was masterful and excellent. Yeah.
I'm the type of guy that if you've got somebody down, I want you to put your foot on their throat, and I want you to keep burying them. And that's what it seemed like he was doing. He wasn't doing anything fancy. He just went out early, got the distance that he needed to let everybody know what he was going to be doing, and then just let the holes run out.
Bob Casper lets out his inner UFC fighter right there. Stab on his throat.
That's right. That's right. I'm a guy that likes a tight game or tight competition. But I would much rather if it's in a big situation or whatever, I would much rather see somebody that's out in the lead just continue to keep pouring it on.
What do you think of the comparisons, his numbers, the major championships he's won before 30, and the comparisons to Tiger? He kind of wanted to flick them away a little bit, and, he's sitting on 4 major titles, and Tiger's at 15, so I get it.
Yeah.
He's not even a third of the way there.
Yeah. He the interesting thing he said in his press conference was, I'm what am I, a quarter or a third of not even a third of the way there. He said one of the things that he prides himself on is staying in the present. Whether it's on the golf course or whether he's at home, what he likes to do is practice for the situations and then, be totally confident with where he is when he stands on the first tee to play a tournament, and then try to compete and be the best that he can be. He doesn't go. It seems like in his talking, he doesn't like make big goals of I want to win 5, three majors this year and 3 other events and stuff like that. I think the way he goes about it is perfect for him, and just he's very logical, very
methodical.
I don't know how methodical about what he does. Yeah, it's just so interesting to hear him and his comments and the way he goes about things. This week, he really kind of let us in behind the curtain to kind of see what he's thinking and how he goes about it and that kind of thing. It was pretty cool.
There were a few other stories, and one of them is Chris Goddard here. Now, you win the Scottish Open, you might think, all right, well, the putt that went in last week, burns the edge and keeps going this week, and luck and stuff evens out, and the bounces even out. Wow, 12 under, third place. I mean, he started with a 72. That wasn't great, but 65, 68, 67, I'm impressed. Yep. Do we have a new, I think he's 25, right? Do we have a new guy in his 20s breaking out here?
No, he's young. He doesn't look like he plays young, but, like you said, he won last week at the Scottish Open. And the cool thing about that one was he was in the final group with Rory McIlroy, and he faced him down face-to-face and beat him by 2 shots. And then he comes to the Open Championship, which he wasn't even planning on playing because he wasn't in. He got in by virtue of his win last week. And then he goes out and he shoots, like you said, 12 under par and finishes third. And, so he goes first and third the last two weeks. They called it the Goddard fortnight. And here he is now, pushing towards top 30 and pushing towards having enough Ryder Cup points to be able to be in either the thought or to be able to make it, in points wise. There's a lot of things happening, but this is a kid that was a phenomenal amateur player. He won the Haskins Award for the best collegiate golfer of the year. And it's really starting to bear out now. I think he's starting to figure out things with his game and in the competition and kind of feel like he belongs.
So with our picks, do I get anything for picking Rory and he goes top 10? Because I don't think anybody else we picked went top 10. That wasn't a sterling week for us. We should have seen Hao Tong Lee coming, and we didn't. We didn't see Chris Goddard and Harris English rolling. That was not a stellar round of draft picks.
Well, let me tell you, when PK changes the rules every other major championship, and you come down to the end and everybody's already picked the guys.
Yeah, we couldn't pick
like
Scheffler.
Scottie Scheffler and that kind of thing. The same thing's going to happen every year because it's not necessarily going to be one of these other guys that's going to win. So it's unfortunate for all of us, but whatever. It's just fun anyway to do.
I want to declare victory because Rory was top 10. I took him in the first round, and J.J. Spahn was top 25. I took him in the second round.
Okay.
You had Xander Schauffele as a regional pick.
Yeah, and Xander was right up there. Yeah. That was amazing because he started out really, really slow and he came all the way back. So that was good. But, yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
But yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Yep, that's right. And PK's happy and smiling because neither of us won and he didn't win. So he's okay.
Yep. The Player of the Year award clearly goes to Scottie Scheffler. Is there anybody you think who could do anything that would change that, or 2 majors out of 4? If someone takes 2 of the 3 wins twice in a playoff or anything, he's 1 and Rory's 2, and then whatever.
Yeah, the only thing is that Rory, if Rory won one of the playoff events or 2 of the playoff events or the Tour Championship, then that would bode for because he's got a major and a couple of other wins. He was the guy that was out and out on the fast track for Player of the Year earlier on, but Scottie, having won 2 majors plus 2 other events, 4 total, is the guy. We saw Xander Schauffele win 2 last year, but Scottie won 7, including a major championship. So I think Scottie's got the inside track, and I expect Scottie to be firing on all cylinders when Memphis comes around in 3 weeks. So we've got 2 weeks of regular PGA Tour events the next 2 weeks, and that'll give guys an opportunity to try to get their card, be in the top 100, and then it gives them a chance to get into the playoffs, which is top 70 on the FedEx Cup point list. Then if they play well enough in the top 70 to get into the top 50, and then hopefully get into the top 30 and have a chance to be in the Tour Championship. It's winding down. We're going to have the end of the PGA Tour season here pretty soon, and then the end of September we're going to have the Ryder Cup, which is going to be awesome, at Bethpage in New York.
You have followed golf for a long time because obviously your dad was on tour, so you just grew up with it and you heard all the stories from him and his friends talking and all that. And you got to hang out with him after he was done playing, and you go back to the Masters and he knew everybody and all that. So drawing on all of that in your memory banks anywhere, do you remember anybody ever shooting a 78 in a major championship in the first round and then finishing in the top 10?
You know, it happened with Curtis Strange. Curtis Strange at the Masters, he didn't end up winning. He was leading going to the back nine and hit it in the water on the par fives and didn't end up winning. But he shot 78 in the first round, came back with 66 even par, and then he played well enough the next round to be like right in contention, was leading going to the back nine, and like I said, he hit it in the water on 13, and he hit it in water on 15. I think Seve won that year. So it's been pretty interesting to see how guys have come back. But that's the thing about major championships: guys that make the cut can really kind of get out and early and play extremely well, and then make it all the way back. Two guys that did that this last week were Bryson and
Corey Connors.
Corey
Connors shot a 74, but Bryson shot a 78.
Yeah.
And then he went 65, 68, 64. Holy cow.
Yeah, he made 19 birdies over the last 3 rounds. Yeah, it was amazing. Will Clark or Wyndham Clark did the same thing. He
76.
I think 76 in the first round, and then brought it all the way back to like a top 5 or a top 6.
Yeah, he tied for
finish.
4th. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's the type of stuff that can happen when a guy gets on a roll, especially in an Open Championship. The cool thing about this Open Championship, it was kind of a level playing field for everybody all the way across. There wasn't a good side and a bad side of the draw, and because of that, you could see how weather affected some guys in the first round, but there were great course conditions and great weather conditions the next 3 rounds that allowed the guys to really get back going and making a lot of birdies and getting back and scoring well.
Okay. All right, Bob. Well, we enjoy all the golf talk. We enjoy the draft, even if it's whatever.
Well, like I said, there's going to be some excitement, playoffs coming up, and then, of course, the Ryder Cup.
Yeah. I don't know what's more amazing, that I get to talk golf with you, and you grew up in the next elementary school over from me in the Bonita Valley,
That's right.
or PK, who went to high school with Pablo Mastroni, and we have him on every week talking soccer as RSL's head coach.
That's cool.
Isn't it? It's a total small world kind of thing.
It is.
We couldn't go to the same high school because then you moved to Utah and you went to high school up here.
Yeah,
so.
I did.
All right.
Yep.
All right, Bob. Thank you very much.
I went to the junior high that your mom taught at.
Hilltop Junior High. My mom did teach there, yes. Not while you were there, but she did, yeah. Excellent. It's a small world. All right.
It is.
Hey, thanks, Bob.
All right.
All right, there's Bob Casper. DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone.